Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't care about what people are going through. I just think he doesn't know. That's the only reason I can think of that he'd propose a health care plan that is so radical, so out of touch with what you're facing, so out of line with our basic values. Senator McCain's been eager to share some of the details of his plan, but not all of the details. He tells you that he'll give you a tax credit of $2,500 per person, $5,000 per family, to help you pay for your insurance and health care costs. Sounds good, right? But like those ads for prescription drugs, you've got to read the fine print to learn the rest of the story, to find out the side effects. You see, Senator McCain would pay for his plan, in part, by taxing your health care benefits for the first time in history. I want everybody to be clear about this. This tax would come out of your paycheck. So if you make $40,000 a year and you've got a health care plan that costs your employer $10,000, now instead of being taxed on $40,000, you're going to be taxed on $50,000. Your taxes go up under his plan. What about the new tax credit he's proposing? That wouldn't go to you. It would go directly to your insurance company, not your bank account. So when you read the fine print, it's clear that John McCain is pulling an old Washington bait and switch. It's a shell game. He gives you a tax credit with one hand, but he raises your taxes with the other. And recently, after some forceful questioning on TV, he finally admitted that for some Americans, those with the best plans, his tax increase would be higher than his tax credit. So they'll come out behind. John McCain calls these plans Cadillac plans. Now, in some cases, it may be that a corporate CEO is getting too good a deal. But what if you're a line worker making a good American car like the Cadillac? What if you're one of the steel workers who are working right here in Newport News? And you've given up wage increases in exchange for better health care. Well, Senator McCain believes you should pay higher taxes too. The bottom line, the better your health care plan, the harder you fought for your good benefits, the higher the taxes you'll pay under John McCain's plan. And here's something else Senator McCain won't tell you. When he taxes people benefits, many younger, healthier workers will decide it's better for them to just opt out of getting insurance at the places where they work. Instead, they'll go out to the individual market because they're healthy, they can buy a cheaper plan. What that means is many employers will be left with an older, sicker pool of workers who they can't afford to cover. So as a result, many employers will drop their health care plans altogether. Study after study has shown that under the McCain plan, at least 20 million Americans will lose the insurance they rely on from their workplace. It's the same approach George W. Bush floated a few years ago. It was dead on arrival in Congress, and for good reason. But if Senator McCain were to succeed where George Bush failed, it very well could be the beginning of the end of our employer-based health care system. In fact, some experts have said that that's exactly the point of John McCain's plan, to drive you out of the insurance that you have through your employer and out into the marketplace where your family will be given that $5,000 tax credit and told to buy insurance on your own. $5,000 tax credit sounds good, but what Senator McCain doesn't tell you is the average cost of a family health care plan these days is more than twice that much. It's $12,680. So where would that leave you? Broke. Senator McCain also doesn't tell you that insurance in the individual market isn't just more expensive than insurance you get through work, it also includes fewer benefits. For example, many of these plans that you've got to buy on your own instead of getting it through your employer, they don't cover prescription drugs. They don't cover prenatal care. Many don't cover birth. So you'd have to pay that out of pocket, roughly $6,000. That ain't right. When you're out there fending for for yourself against the insurance companies, you pay more and you get less. Here's another thing Senator McCain doesn't tell you. His plan won't do a thing to stop insurance companies from discriminating against you if you've got a pre-existing condition, like hypertension, or asthma, or diabetes, or cancer, the kind of conditions that 65 million working Americans suffer from. People from all backgrounds and walks of life all across this country. Ain't right? Employers don't charge you higher premiums for these conditions, but insurers do, much higher. So the sicker you've been, the more you'll have to pay. The harder you'll be able to take care of your need.